can say. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If you could take a seat, we're about to begin.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to see you all here back in person tonight. It's like,
wow.
So I was starting to canter. What are all the people doing here tonight? Oh, yeah, right. We're back to in person. Exactly. So wonderful to have you all here. And of course, also welcome to all folks who tuned in from home or wherever you are joining us. Welcome as well. It's a special evening tonight. We have a special celebration that we'll be talking about in a little while. But it's still too good to see us all together here tonight. And with this, we want to start on page 10. Hinema tov umanayim. Shevedachim gam yachat. How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together. Page 10 on the top.
Join with us. Hinema tov umanayim, shevedachim gam yachad. 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 Hinema tov umanayim. Join with us. Shevedachim gam yachad. Hinema tov umanayim, shevedachim gam yachad.
For an opening reading, we are on page 6 on the bottom. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
And for the blessings and reading over the candles, which is going to be on pages 3 and 2, I'd like to invite up Joan Garden to light the candles for us. The candles are both, yes.
Help it down, okay. Okay.
Page 3. One of those two.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Do you want to sing it?
If you want to, please.
Do you want to sing it or say it?
Either one is fine.
This is what you want me to Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shall Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Yashakor. Thank you. And with this, we turn to page 20 for our Kabbalat Shabbat service. As we are welcoming in the Shabbat bride with Lechadodi, we're going to be doing stanzas 1, 2, 5, and the last one. And as you always, for the last one, please rise and face the entryway. Folks at home, wherever the Shabbat bride may join you in your homes.
Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem tiferet v'tehila. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habracha, Me'rosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Hit'oreri, Ki ba'orech kumi ori, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Sing with us. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'betzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, boi chala. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat lekabela.
Please remain standing as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam ha'ed.
Page 31 on the top, we read together in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sails of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
And Ahavat Olam on page 32.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu u'bekomeinu Nasiach b'chokecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמי. אוהב עמו ישראל, שמו ישראל, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malachoto Le'olam Vaed.
Please have a seat.
Please join us in V'ahavta.
Page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And page 39 on the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
And I understand that Rabbi TV helped introduce a new Michamocha, which we're going to do for the next several weeks to get used to it. And it's quite a beautiful one by Mark Lipson. And I invite you to join with me as we
Page
sing
40.
together.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, nora tehilot, osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugealo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'a Yisrael.
On page 43, together on the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we might lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkah shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We continue with the Shamru, the top of page 44.
Veshamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
With this, we turn to page 46 for the Tfilah or Amidah, which means the standing prayer. So please rise as you're able. Folks at home, please do the same, facing east, wherever you are.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufiyagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov. Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכפל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך מנהיג ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please have a seat. On page 55 on the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Next we on page 57 in the middle. Let's read together in the English. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha be'yirah na'avod. And for the Mudim prayer, which is on page 58, our prayer of thanksgiving, take a moment and think about what were some of the great things that happened to you the last week that you are grateful for. And in a moment, if you want to share those, you can go around. If you want to share those, and there's folks at home, if you want to type in the chat, please feel free to do so. Is anybody here who would like to share some of the great stuff that happened to them during the last week? Yes, Jamie. Colorful fall leaves, wonderful. Yes, the seasons are turning. It's really beautiful out there. Nice. What else? Yes, Aaron. Returning to the sanctuary. Yes, good to be back together. That's great. Yes. What else we got? Oh, yes, please.
My grandson that was 4 weeks early is 3 weeks old and healthy.
Mazel tov, that's wonderful news. The grandson who's a preemie is 3 weeks old now and healthy and made it out of there. That's out of NICU. That's wonderful. Anyone else? Yes, please. The Moderna vaccine booster number 3 is ready. All right, nice. Good, so we can take care of our health. Wonderful that we have those too. Great. Anybody else? Yes, please. Debbie. Wonderful. Like, we get a lot of new books about Judaism to learn about. That's awesome. Somebody else, has something special going on this week. I'm not quite sure, Anybody,
Aaron has another.
Oh, on my hand. Yes, please. Grateful for the 18 years Rebecca gave to us. There you go, absolutely. That's a mazel tov, Rebecca, that's wonderful. All righty. Yes. You're going to come back to it, so it's going to be in a moment. All right, wonderful. Glad, thanks for sharing this, and homework for next week. Go out there, make some wonderful things. Oh, there's Mama. Oh, yes, wonderful. Wonderful, back together here with family or visiting Tacoma, daughter and son-in-law. That's wonderful. Good to have you guys here. Thank you. All right, wonderful. Homework for next week. Go out there, make some more wonderful things happen, and then come back here and tell us about it. And together on the bottom of page 58, the Chatima, the closing line. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulchana'eh lehodot. And next, we are on page 64, Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. Let's join together.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom.
Let me hear you sing it.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Baruch atah Adonai, המברך את עמו ישראל, בשלום. Take a moment of silence now for the prayers of our heart. And for that, you might use page 62, 63. We're going to be coming back to the bottom of that page in a moment.
שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. When you switch through the channels on the TV remote in the evening, there clearly is no shortage of drama series on the air. Well, not quite my cup of tea. A good friend of mine is definitely a huge fan, and one of our absolute tearjerker favorites these days and of all times has been the Tuesday night NBC drama series, This Is Us. This Is Us is currently shooting its 6th and final season and has been keeping up actually pretty well over the years, starting from about 10 to 12 million viewers in the early seasons to still a solid 5 million viewers in the latest one. There were several nominations as well: Best Television Series, Drama on the Golden Globes, Best Drama Series at the Critics' Choice Awards, Top Television Program by the American Film Institute. So, what's going on in this drama that makes it so successful? The series follows the lives of siblings Kevin, Kate, and Randall, known as the Big Three, and their parents Jack and Rebecca Pearson. It takes place in the present day, and is using some flashbacks to show the family during various moments in the past. Kevin and Kate, or two of these kids, are the two surviving members of a triplet pregnancy, born 6 weeks premature on their father Jack's 36th birthday in 1980. Their brother, unfortunately, is stillborn. Believing they were meant to have 3 children, Jack and Rebecca, white folks, decide to adopt Randall, an African-American boy born the same day and brought to the same hospital after he was abandoned at a fire station. Most episodes feature a storyline happening all the way in the past, but sometimes moments are intersprinkled, with the flashbacks usually focusing on the parents, Jack and Rebecca, before and after the baby's birth, or on the family when the Big Three are children or adolescents. Jack is the clear patriarch of the family. Big parts of the series revolve around him. Just recently, they did a whole episode on him just coming out of Vietnam. And the children are very fond of him. They're close, very close to him. Spoiler alert, at this point, I guess not so much anymore. Jack dies, unfortunately, from cardiac arrest when the kids are 17 years old, as a consequence of smoke poisoning when he runs back into the family home to save the dog. After his death, all 3 kids are heavily traumatized. that trauma actually carries on into their adult lives in the present. All three of them came to idolize their father and try to imitate him. And every year, his daughter Kate watches the Super Bowl with the urn and their father's ashes in it, propped up next to her on the couch. But the consequences of his death are not limited to the kids only. Jack had become such a beloved character that angry real-life fans of the show even vandalized the Wikipedia article after the airing of the episode of Jack's death. Not the This Is Us Wikipedia page, you might think, but rather the article on smoke inhalation. Can be avoided if you don't go back to save the dog, one fan added. Or, always remember to change the batteries in your smoke detectors, another. Topped off, of course, by the crucial advice, but don't go to the hospital where Jack Pearson went. Now you might wonder, why do I bother telling you all this? Well, we actually have a very similar drama unfolding in this week's Torah portion, Vayera, in the book of Genesis, involving the relationship of Jewish patriarch Abraham and his son Isaac. But this week's portion focuses a lot on the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. We also read it on Rosh Hashanah, of course. I'd like to focus a bit more on the aftermath of that event. Once the focus actually shifts on to Isaac as the main protagonist of the story, he's introduced with the following words. This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Now you might wonder, isn't that redundant? The text just established that Isaac is the son of Abraham. So what is the need to repeat that Abraham begot Isaac? The great scholar Nahum Sana explains this redundancy in the JPS commentary. Such a usage is never found in the other generational lists. Yet the chronicler later followed the pattern of this verse in recording in Chronicles that the sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael, and then stating in verse 34, Abraham begot Isaac. The redundancy, therefore, is not a gloss, but a literary device to emphasize Isaac's role as the sole successor to the patriarch. Side note, those in my Judaism and Islam class, that's what we spoke about just this last Tuesday. So, why is there such a need to stress that Isaac is the only successor to Abraham? Many of us might consider Isaac this rather pale character, whose role first and foremost consists of being the transmitter of his father's traditions, as the link between Abraham and Jacob, the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. There's not much that Isaac introduces. He never seems to be able to emerge out of his father's shadow. The Hasidic rabbi Menachem of Amshinov moves along the same lines, trying to explain the redundancy in the verse I mentioned. He says, the life stories of the righteous are their good deeds. This is the intent of, this is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. These are the causes, in other words, of Isaac's good deeds. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac always remembered his origins, his father, that he was a son of Abraham. As you might know, in Hasidism, the lineage is a very important factor, so this commentary is not surprising. But even across the other Jewish movements, including Reform through the ages, we've always been invoking the merits of our ancestors. We just said it in the Amidah a moment ago. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, God of our ancestors, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob. Of course, in the Reform movement, we also represent the matriarchs, the females here as well. We all tend to define ourselves by our parents and our ancestors. They are our roots, where we come from, the ones that brought us into the world, raised us, and taught us. So of course we are shaped and influenced by them in many ways. But things can get problematic if that's all we are, if we do not get to develop our own character and personality. Both the big three and Isaac seem kind of be stuck in their father's shadow, an imposing figure towering over their lives. This is why I would like to share with you another commentary, the Hasidic rabbi Yechiel of Alexander, brings in a new angle and saying, that angle that Isaac and the big three seem to overlook. Isaac always believed he himself was nothing. Rather, he was a son of Abraham. He based everything only on his father's merit. And Abraham, in turn, believed he had accomplished nothing, that he had no merit or claim to personal merit other than having raised a worthy son. Abraham begot Isaac. That was their way in holiness. They considered themselves unworthy other than their respective claims to the merit of the fathers or the merit of the children. It's really quite remarkable here that this parent-child bond is a two-way street. Not only do the children often shape and mold themselves after their parents, parents also adapt their identity in respect to their children. It is safe to say that bringing a child into the world and raising them to become decent human beings counts among the biggest challenges people can face. It is a responsibility that doesn't end on the child's 18th birthday, rather carries on throughout their lives. Becoming a parent thus also changes a person's life in many ways, including earning a new name, a new title, mom or dad. The possibility even exists that this new identity takes over their lives. Look at all the soccer moms or theater dads out there who have built their lives completely around their children and who might lose themselves in attempts to live their lives through their children. So, what does all this leave us with? We're reminded that the parent-child relationship is a complex one and intrinsically intertwined, literally a lifelong bond. It is up to us, though, to make sure to keep a healthy balance, because otherwise you run the risk that this bond either smothers, either parent, child, or both. That ship might have sailed for Isaac, but it doesn't mean that we can't reflect on and readjust our own relationships with our parents and children. And of course, get to tune in again for the final season of This Is Us to see if the big three will be able to achieve the same. Shabbat Shalom. Speaking of honoring the members of our family, and this Shabbat is a special pleasure and honor that we have to get to honor Rebecca Kanzora for 18 years here at Temple Beth. We have a number of presentations that we would like to do. And first, I would like to invite up our president, Aaron Peterson, to come up to the podium, to the front.
Well, Rebecca, don't cry, okay? I'm going to try not to. So just first, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I just want to say thank you to Da Rabbah. Thank you so much. 18 years, and on a personal note, like I've told you before, I don't know the front desk without you. I don't know answering the phone without hearing your voice, so it'll be a change for me and for many of us. So thank you for all that you've done. We just have so much to be grateful for, not just what you've done for us, but what you've improved while you're here. You're leaving at a better place, no doubt about that. But really, you've become more than an employee. You're really family. And I think many of us would say that you're the family that it's going to be hard to say goodbye to. So make sure we lock the door and that you can't get out. But really, it's sad to see you go, but really we're just happy that you found another kind of chapter in your life, and we're happy, and I am happy, and the Board of Trustees are happy that we were able to give you this opportunity, and that you're moving, that you've found another chapter in your life. But really the important thing is don't be a stranger. Make sure you're stopping by and saying hello. I do have a gift certificate here, but I think I might hold it and keep it in the office and saying you can have it in about 2 weeks, but you have to come in to get it. But really, this is a certificate, and you're going to have to read it. This was put together, but it's just, this is from the Board of Trustees. So it's a bed and breakfast gift certificate, basically to go where you would like to choose. The actual card, I think maybe we will, Stacy, put it in the office as a hard one and say you have to come in to get it. But the gift certificate is a special thank you from the Temple Beth Board of Trustees. Your hard work and dedicated service is truly appreciated. Your efforts, energy, and most importantly, you yourself, your spunk that you gave, no doubt, will be truly missed. And all of our best wishes for your next adventure. And the thing I think you're going to love about this is you actually have to read it, because in there was tons of misspellings, words out of place, because you didn't review it for us. So of course we have it completely spelled wrong. But thank you so much, Toda Rabba. I need a hug.
Thank you, Yoshiko. Andy. Next, Andy Mauer, or straighter to the front.
I am going to ask Rebecca to come up, because I just have a little something that I would like to present to her, and a few words that I'm going to try and get through. So I think this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And, sorry, I want to thank Leslie for passing on a quote to me from Rabbi Joshua Minkin. And he states, Lech Lecha is not just being the big changes in our lives. It's also facing each day anew, plunging into an unknown future, being open to its possibilities, finding new opportunities for small successes, and becoming God's promise to Abraham, and you shall be a blessing. Rebecca, you've definitely been a blessing to Temple Bethel. Cantor Fine just said, take a moment and continue, correct? All right. We would not be where we are today without your devotion and dedication. The two of us have been co-workers. I know, right? Okay. We can get through this. Where was I? Co-workers and friends for almost 18 years. So I wanted to give this to you, and you need to open it up. And Phyllis, go ahead. Yeah, it's not going to bite you or anything. Phyllis said it's easy to open up. So it is. Yeah. She's what she said. Okay. So while she's doing that, I'd like to thank Steph Farber and Phyllis Harrison for taking my vision and making this wonderful gift for Rebecca. And what my vision was the version of the Jewish high symbol representing life, the number 18, and it also has a blue topaz to celebrate the month of November when you started working for us, almost 18 years ago. So Rebecca, oh yeah, this really turned out nice. So Rebecca, I hope you wear this. You think of your family at Temple Bethel, and that it brings you joy. So, good luck, Rebecca. Okay, isn't that nice? It turned out really nice. Okay. There.
Are you good?
Yeah. That's kind of cool, huh?
Do you want some tissue?
No, I'm good. That's all that I have for Rebecca. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
like
you
shaking.
I know, there we are. Okay, all right, there we go. All right.
Can I go sit? Do I need to still stay here? Do I need-
If you would like to, please
I
submit
can-
to
I
honor
can
you. There you
Okay.
go. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Yes, at this place, Rabbi Bruce Cadden, the Rabbi Emeritus, want to share some words. He unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so he gave the words to me. Picture his face, on my, somewhat younger body and kind of stuff you could like. Oh, yeah, no. When I retired in the June of 2020, I assumed that Rebecca would be here forever. She actually started at Temple Beth just a short time before I did, but even then, it seemed as if she had been there forever, answering the phone with a welcoming Shalom, Temple Beth, and greeting everyone who came to the door with a smile. She was the first person many people spoke with, either by phone or in person, and a warm welcome was something they would mention. From time to time, she had to deal with someone who was upset or wasn't quite all there, but she still would remain the same pleasant and caring presence, no matter the circumstances. She did so many things well, but her creativity and eye for color created the best bulletin of any generation I've ever seen. So Rebecca, as you begin your new pursuit, know that you will always be part of this community and will always have a special place in my heart. Mazel tov. All right. And moving on from clergy, Cantor actually has a special presentation for you as well, so I'll turn it over to him.
You're like a bat mitzvah girl tonight. You never get to sit down, so mazel tov.
Don't make me chant.
Okay, no chanting yet. No chanting yet. So mazel tov, and I've known you for only 4.5 years of these 18 years, and you have been such a blessing to me and to this community. You have no idea how much she does in our office and for our community. And I'm going to move over here so that I don't feedback. Thank you. So I'm going to do this here. So I wrote you a song, not a song. I put the words to a song, and so apologies to Stephen Sondheim, who wrote these lyrics. They're not as good, but they say what I want to say to you. And it's from a show called Gypsy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, to yourself be true, yes, Rebecca. It's been 18 years of laughter and tears, and calming our fears, yes, Rebecca. You started reserved, and he tells me, dry humor and bubbly we now see. Your style, smile, sweet voice like a bell. Shalom, Temple Bethel, Rebecca. The website, Facebook, Shul Cloud undertook, supporting the clergy and how you helped us through, knew what to do as your task grew and grew and grew, now facing, replacing Rebecca. Oi. The people you touch who need such and such and say it's not much, help Rebecca. Technology whiz, resourceful she is. You're in the right biz, Rebecca. You organize so much in one day. So many needs, they're heading your way. No doubts, no pouts, no shouts, and then you stun. It's all done, Rebecca. This day was your last. The years have gone fast. Your gifts unsurpassed, as we say. We'll miss you so, but when we do, we'll think of others you'll help too. No stalling, life's calling, Rebecca. Stay there. Okay.
Not tough at all to follow this one up, you know. Rebecca, we only known each other very shortly the last 4 months, but I'm so grateful for all your support that you gave. Mentioned before, your humor, your sass, and just your warm heart, caring about all these things and giving insight. I am so grateful for that, and I really wish you all only the best as you venture out there on the next part of your journey. There's a blessing I'd like to invoke on you at this moment. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you as you enter in this new chapter of your life. The world was not formed by a single act. Each and every day, God renews the work of creation. May God grant you the strength to constantly renew your own creation. May you open your heart and mind to continuous growth, unexpected change, and the perpetual, unsettling, liberating expansion of being alive. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has kept us alive and sustained us and allowed us to reach this time of transformation. And let us all say, Amen. Yashar Koach and Mazel Tov. And one final piece, Kent and I would like to bestow upon you the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction, blessing, the threefold blessing that we would like to do for you at this moment.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yuchonecha.
May God look upon you favorably and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God turn God's face towards you and give you the greatest peace of all, the gift of peace.
Amen. Amen.
And we join together.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 oh lechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, oh lechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, oh lechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, oh lechol Yisrael.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Sorry.
I didn't do
my.
that.
All right. Please. Like Bar Mitzvah kids, you may sit. Yes. There you go. There you go. Take a. Aw. All right. Speaking of good news, we have announcements, and today I'd like to invite our president, Aaron Peterson, to share those with us.
You want to do the announcements? Oh, well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone at home. Thank you for all of you who joined us here in the sanctuary. It's wonderful, and it's really weird to look out and do this way again. So that, again, it's being enjoyed both here in the sanctuary. It's what we call kind of multi-access. So not only we have the guests here in-house, but also all of our congregants and community members enjoying it from home. Thank you to Rabbi TV and Cantor Fine, as always, for leading us tonight. Thank you. Also, thank you to Benjamin Zavon, Bob Garden, Rainey Carlin, and Sully Selkin over there in the corner working the tech for tonight, working on our service production and broadcast. We're working through kind of a large group, but we're working through a lot of training on the equipment. We've just now gotten in here to use that. So you too can help. You don't have to have a whole lot of knowledge, but you can help with that and learn a new skill while you're at it. But if you're interested in helping at all with that effort, please contact myself or Jordan Harris. We've created what we call the Temple Tech Team, TTT, and you too can be part of that. We have a number of opportunities to gather and learn and celebrate in the coming days and weeks. Friday services will continue to be made available on Facebook Live, YouTube, and also on our website. Details on how to find the live services can be found on the Temple Beth website. There's a web page that talks about live streaming and gives some instructions on that. And the nice thing is if you do go to Facebook Live and YouTube, both do offer also the chatting features that you can chat with one another. Note that all Friday services now are at 7:30 except for the last Friday of the month. Those will be at 6 o'clock. Saturday morning services will begin at 10 a.m. and at least for the time being will be on Zoom. And that link is found each week on the Shabbat Shalom email, is also found on the website. So tomorrow, in addition, also on Zoom, will be a Torah study at 9 a.m. Morning service, as I just mentioned, at 10 a.m. on Zoom. Continuing will be our Zoom Havdalah at 7:30. It's just going strong since the beginning of the pandemic. And Sisterhood is also excited to announce a number of upcoming events and opportunities. The general meeting will be this coming Tuesday. The event for the evening will be Meet Rabbi TV. So hopefully you're ready for that one. They are also beginning to organize, it's pretty exciting, a group of up to 20 people to work at Nourish PC, Nourish Pierce County. It's a food bank. That's going to be on November 8th from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. You just must be able to lift 30 pounds. Contact Marlene Matola for if you're interested in helping with that effort. And then also another one, save the date. Their experienced Leonard Cohen at the CJM. It's a virtual experience, so it's a virtual tour. This will be on Sunday, November 21st, and this is at 2 in the afternoon. Make sure that you check out the Shabbat Shalom email for more information on that. And again, for the safety of all of our community and to honor the Jewish value of Pekua Nefesh, that's saving a soul, we have finalized, and we are back in here, our service attendance protocols. And to also offer the multi-service in the sanctuary. But in order to do so, I do have to, this is the moment when I thank Larry, Randy, and Janie for helping out. We have our service supporters. We're not going to be able to be in person, check people in, do all that without some supportive volunteers. So if you're interested at all in doing that, we are needing some help already in November to make sure that that goes forward. So contact me and let me know if you're interested in helping basically do check-in and just kind of back to some of the same ushering things that we're used to do. But that's about it. Okay, so most important, I want to go over kind of the details again for those who haven't gone through the process. Registration will be required each week. We just need to make sure we have enough room. And a one-time COVID vaccination is required. So either do that prior to by sending that in, or if you do show up, make sure you have a copy of that either on your phone or your, or the hard copy, or thank you, Deb, for showing the wristband. If you do have one of those from High Holidays, that will help as well. It just shows those, if you have a blue color, that shows that you've already previously sent in your COVID vaccination requirement. And this can all be found on the website, so you don't have to be busy taking notes or remembering this. Just check the website. As always, you can also call the office. Just Rebecca won't be there to answer the phone. But I know that we'll somehow survive. And then the Judaica shop will be open on Fridays from 11 to noon and by appointment. I guess they were not open tonight, unfortunately, but we'll be open 30 minutes prior to services on Fridays as well when we're back in person. Also, just make sure to check the Shabbat Shalom email to see how you can help our neighbors, the Islamic Center of Tacoma. They need some funds to help rebuild after the horrible arson event that took place a few weeks ago. And if you are willing to help or need some help, please remember to contact our clergy, our office, or leadership. Again, Shabbat Shalom. Please stay safe and healthy.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. In the midst of our Shabbat rest, we take a moment also to think of those who need of healing, of body, mind, and soul. If there's anybody of whom you're thinking, I'm going to go around in a moment. If you want to share those names out loud in your hearts. Folks at home, if you want to share them in the chat, feel free to do so as well. Let me start over here. Yes. Anybody else? Oh, yes.
I'm just thinking of those who are struggling with COVID tonight.
So thinking of Kiana Williams and Benny Peters.
We join together, page
Berer.
253.
May the source of strength, oh bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekorach aleavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Continuing with the closing prayers, the Aleinu on page 282, and the second half is going to be on 287. Please rise as you're able, folks at home as well, facing east, and we're about to open the ark.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. Take a moment now to think of those who are no longer with us. Just anybody who's in the period of Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or 30 days of mourning, please arise at this moment. Same, of course, at home. If you would like to share the names of those you're commemorating, yes, please. Also keep in our minds Rita Lowenthal. For them, we extend the traditional words of consolation. Hamakom hinachem etchem, betoch she'ah valei Zion v'Yerushalayim, Megon in Zion and Jerusalem. And now to those who are marking the Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, please rise at this moment if you're observing one of those. At home, of course, as well. From our community, we commemorate the following: Rebecca Azen, Rebecca Block, Helen Branfeld, Paul Cohn, Francis Dietz, Ethel Doctor, Laurie Epstein, Joan Etzikson, Carol Ferber, Jacob Fine, Leonard Goodman, Joseph Grunberg, Jack Hellerstein, Seymour Kaplan, Lila Klein, Howard Leichman, Sharon Leifson, Paul Lucky, Andy Newman, Harriet Payne, Cora Potter, Harold Sklar, Rose Sohn, Violet Stone, Lily Warnick, Dennis Weinstein, and Paya Zhukovsky. Is anybody else whom you're commemorating whose name was not mentioned yet? Please feel free to add. And at home, of course, in the chat. For them, we're about to recite the Mishe Berach. It's on page 294. Please rise as a community as you're able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach hirotei v'yamlich malchotei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitada, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei de Kudusha, Brichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da miran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memory be a blessing. Please have a seat. Once more, thanks to everybody who had a part in the service today. President Peter has already shared the names with us, so thanks. And of course to Rebecca for coming here today, so we get a chance to say goodbye to you as a community. Once more, Mazel Tov, and all the best to you as you go forth. Thank you. And especially as we are speaking about moving ahead, Cantor has a special musical choice that he would like to do tonight.
So I invite all of you to sing with me on page 345, this prayer, Tefillat HaDerech, which is the prayer for travel, actually. And as Rebecca continues on her travels, and if we continue on our travels here as we join together, as it's good to see you all and to hear you all, to try new things, to experience things that we do all the time, it's a joyous time. And so I invite you to sing with us this Tefillat HaDerech. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. May we be sheltered by the wings of peace.
May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing.
One more final thing to do is the Kiddush and the Motzi before we head out. And once more, thanks to everybody who came out today, also tuned in today. And of course, beautiful music as always, to Debbie for accompanying us tonight as well. Thank you. So, if you want to join for the Kiddush, it's on page 5. Please rise one more time as you're able.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kirvanu v'acharta ve'otanu gidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
L'chaim.
Bye.
See if I can do this. Okay. Success. And we also say Motzi. So we join together. After services, I invite you to celebrate and to greet each other, but outside the sanctuary in the building, actually out front. We're going to join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avo.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom. Going to put the bread next to the door, so if you want to grab a slice on your way out, please feel free to do so. Shabbat shalom, everybody, outside home.